The most obvious decisions to make are always in hindsight. Today, I was at Ken McElroy, one of the guys that I work with, his resort in Sedona, which he purchased in 2014 for $6.5 million. Now it's worth about 45 million. And I'm going to go over all the reasoning for that. But at the time that they bought it, they were negatively cash flowing money for 2 years straight, for 24 months over. They were paying out of pocket to buy this resort. I mean, think about that. Now it's the most obvious thing ever. Of course, land in Sedona was going to go up. They're in the best location. They have water rights. They started a winery. They started an apple cider farm. They started a farm. They started a very high-end boutique hotel. But at the time, it was an incredibly tough decision to make. Just think about it. It's 2014. The entire world hates real estate. They think it's the worst asset class ever because the global financial crisis just happened. Psychologically, everything's just gone down for the past 4 years. And this property's negatively cash flowing, while at the time you could find incredible deals that were cash flowing a ton of money. So, I mean, psychologically, this is a very, very tough deal to make. But in hindsight, now that it's gone up 9 times and he's made a bajillion dollars on it, everyone's like, oh, that was the easiest play ever. If I was in that position, that's exactly what I would have done. But it's so much more challenging than that. And then most people wouldn't even be able to manage it because he has a restaurant. They sell apple cider. He started his own wine. He started a book around the resort. And so many other factors. The value add, they went from $225 per night for their rooms to $450. So now it's a very high-end hotel or boutique little resort type of thing that's 4.8 rated stars. The land is in an area in Sedona where you can't really build on and in the most prime location humanly possible. That's really why it's gone up so much. They're making a ton of cash flow, but not to equate to that type of valuation. The reason why it's so expensive and is because of the land that it's on, the location, and the water rights. Because to get water rights, it needs to predate the state. So this property was originally founded before the state of Arizona came into act. And because of that, they get the water in the ground in the freaking in the property that they own or in the acres of land. So now Ken said he will never sell this place. He'll pass it on to his kids. When his kids are his age, shit, it'll probably be worth $150 million because Sedona is such a beautiful area and it's just going to become more and more of a tourist attraction. The resort that they have is incredible. But I was in Sedona all day, so I've not yet worked out and I'm antsy. So I'm working out while making my video. Because if you don't know, I make a video every single day, at least for the next 1,000 days. I just went to the gym and it was closed because it's Memorial Day. So I am pissed. And I started this video and I realized I wasn't recording. So I had done about 40 push-ups before I started. And so now you have a situation where everyone is telling all these people that they really aren't smart and they don't really have balls. It was just obvious. So my question is, how do you put yourself in a position to where everyone is calling the way that you made a ton of money super obvious? One thing I think is zero risk, only potential benefits is starting a stupid YouTube channel. And they literally pay you to make videos if people watch them. And if nobody watches them, nobody watches them. And it's free advertising. So there's literally not a single downside could come. Unless you say some stupid, super fucked up shit, which I have before. And I've gotten an old channel deleted because it was against the societal norms, I guess. But I mean, now all I do is talk about business, at least on this channel. because that's all I do is I run my business every single day. And I think what I'm going to try and do, because I'm hanging out with Ken every single day, is buy my first rental property in the next 12 months. And I honestly came to that realization today, which I've never really been interested in. But the reason why is if you can get positive cash flow, I would like the asset. And I mean, the best time to start when you're young. And if you can just get a few, let's say every 5 years or something like that, then you're going to be completely set. So I think I know how I can do this to where instead of going bank financing, I finance from Ken. So if you don't know, right now I work with very large businesses and I help them sell their products on social media. Right now, one of the guys that I'm working with and I'm in Arizona hanging out with them every day is this guy, Ken McElroy, who has 10,000 real estate apartments. So apartment units. Right now I'm in one unit that is one door. He has 10,000 of these and he's owned 15,000, even more than that. And so he knows a thing or two about real estate. The thing I've been talking about is a resort that he owns. And what I think would be good is because I've taken over all of his social medias is start a series on his thing where he's teaching young people how to buy their first property. And we use me as an example because I'm thinking about a way where I can benefit both of us where I can make him a lot of money that way. And in exchange, I'd get my first rental property. He'd finance it. He'd kind of coach me through the process. And I'm thinking about these solutions as a win-win and mutualistic for both of us. Because if I could turn something like that into a few million views for him, it would be very much worth his time. I think he would enjoy helping me and the younger generation. So I'm going to try that when I come back to Arizona because Wednesday, I'm going to Orlando. Then after that, I'm moving to Colombia for the summer. And so I think it'll be a better time to buy that anyway. But that's my plan. I think it's actually could work too. Because Ken's the type of guy where if I show him something cool, he'd finance it for me. So I'm going to just try and take advantage of the position that I'm in. And I have some cash flow coming in right now, not enough to buy a property outright. But because my business is doing better and I have no real expenses, I mean, I think this is the next progression. I mean, all I've really said recently is I want to reinvest into my business, but right now I have nothing to reinvest in. So if I buy a rental property and then I can do another one in another 12 months or something like that, that's when you can really start to snowball because Ken started with one rental property and now he has about 10,000. So what's the downside, right? You own an asset and this is the time when you take extraordinary amounts of risk. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I know these push-ups suck. I'm speeding through them. Let's see, 8 minutes. All right, I'm going to head out.